Om. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. My humble pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you to today's session of Yoga Vashishta. I am just a sadhaka, I am a seeker. I am not a jnani, I am not a pandita, I am not a guru. I am conducting this steady hour of Yoga Vashishta as a means for my learning. I am referring to few books, listening to few talks, making some notes, and making those notes available to you. If there are any mistakes in my understanding, please forgive me. The purpose is for my learning. We are studying Vashishta Rama Samvada Utpatti Prakarana. So, this is a dialogue between sage Vashishta and Prince Rama. So, the dialogue continues. Today's chapter is chapter 9. What is the Swarupa of Paramatma? This is the question of Ramachandra. Sri Ramachandra is asking, O Maharshi, the bondage is caused because of the ajnana. The jiva does not know who I am, who am I, what is my real nature. Without knowing the real nature of oneself, the jiva is bound. It is in bondage. What is the bondage? Samsara. What is samsara? You might be wondering, what is this samsara? What is wrong with this samsara? This world looks fine. I'm enjoying. But if you look carefully, nobody is really speaking happy. There are certain happy moments in life. And every happy moment lasts very less time, few minutes. And after some time, again, the lacunae sets in. If there is a desire and by God's grace, the desire is fulfilled, the person becomes happy. How long? 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Immediately, a small thought comes. What next? For example, a person buys a car, very expensive car, is very happy. And he sees his neighbor's car is even more expensive. Then naturally the mind starts comparing. Also, he has bought a car, he enjoys it. Then he will think, What accessories should I buy for it? So immediately the mind says, what next? This kind of one after the other desires. Whatever we have, we are not never satisfied. We are not 100% happy with what we have. We want something more, something more, something more. And if we have something, we are afraid if it is lost. It may get lost. So fear, desire, these two drive our life. Is this the way to lead life? Is it normal? Most people think it is normal. They don't even question it. But a sensitive person who has seen through this game will know whether it is small or great, a small fear is always there in the mind, and a small desire is always there in the mind. What is desire? Whatever I have is not sufficient. I want more. So that means discontentedness. I'm not satisfied with what I have. I want more. And I'm afraid what will happen to me. What is going to happen? I have acquired this much wealth. Thief may steal it. So all this kind of thing. And also relationships. We think by relationships we will be happy. Look at all your relationships. It's a mixed bag. Sometimes you are happy, no doubt. More often, there is friction, ego clashes. In every relationship, there is ego clash. There is dissatisfaction. So, it is not just like that Bhagavan Buddha has told Sarvam Dukkham. The world is Dukkhamaya. It doesn't mean people are crying all the time. Not that is not the meaning. People are managing dissatisfaction, unsatisfaction, desires, fears, anxieties. They are somehow managing. Is this what life should be? Is this what life is? But is this what life should be? Life should be with one should lead life with perfect peace, satisfaction, contentedness, trupti. Imagine such a life. Is it possible? So, why is this discontentedness is there? Dissatisfaction is there? Because of ajnana. What is ajnana? What is ignorance? Ignorance means I am this limited being. I am this body, mind, intellect. Somehow I am limited. I don't have what I need. By acquiring things in the world, I will be happy. More things, more happiness. This is nothing but ajnana. So, where is this ajnana coming from? Because of identification with the body. Without knowing that I am consciousness, I am Atma, I am full, I am Purna, I don't have any desires. The real nature, Swarupa of you is you are Purna Swarupa, you are Atma Swarupa, you are complete. You don't require anything, no desires for you. Desires are for the ego, it is for the role, personality that you take up. Just you, the your pure being, do not have any desires. Desires are for the ego. So you have to choose between ego-based life and your life. I want to lead my life peacefully is a resolve one should make. Ego-based life, it will continuously keep desiring things. So this ajnana, because of ajnana, the jiva has the samsara. This is all samsara. Having desires, doing action, getting the results, favorable or unfavorable. Some desires are fulfilled, some desires are not fulfilled. Dissatisfaction, happiness, sorrow, not happiness, pleasure and pain. This is all samsara. So, Ramachandra is asking, what is that entity? Who is that Paramatma? What is that Brahman that is there in all beings as the Atma? Who is that Paramatma, Supreme Being, who is present in the hearts of all beings, right from Brahmaji to an ant, a blade of grass? Is that Paramatma in the form like a sky, as a space? Where is the abode of that Paramatma? Where is that Paramatma living? You are telling me that one can understand the nature of Paramatma, nature of Paratpara, Paramatma, through the company of holy people, saints, Sadgurus, Satsanga. What is the nature of that Paratpara? Please tell me. So, Vashishta Maharshi is saying, O Rama, thinking that such and such somebody who has taken birth, someone who has taken birth as the Paramatma. Those who think like that, they are not Panditas. Paramatma has no birth, no death. It is never born, never dies. Because the samsara is caused by the Jiva Bhranti. Knowing a person as Paramatma will not help. So here you have to understand that popularly people take do upasana on avatara purushas. That is okay to begin with. Taking somebody who has taken birth as Paramatma, as the Supreme Being, it is it is a stepping stone towards understanding that Sarva Jiva, Sarva Jivas, all beings have the same Atma, Sarvatma Bhavana. That is the right way of understanding Paramatma. Sarvatma Bhavana. To begin with, you see the glory in a particular person and say that that particular person is God. But ultimately it has to lead to the understanding that God is present equally in the hearts of all beings. Sarvatma Bhavana has to be there. You may start your spiritual journey by thinking that particular form, particular avatara is God. But you have matured enough to lead your understanding to know that the spirit in all beings, right from Chaturmukha Brahma to an ant, all beings in the hearts, in the cave of their hearts, Paramatma is equally present as I am. The I am in you and the I am in me is Paramatma. It is one and the same. The personality is different. The minds are different. But the consciousness in you and the consciousness in me is one and the same. The consciousness in you and consciousness in this body and the consciousness in all the bodies is Paramatma, God. God alone operates through all the bodies. God alone is the power behind the power of seeing, the power of talking, the power of hearing, the power of smelling, the power of touch, the power of taste. It is one power, Paramatma, God, Ishvara. And the same Ishvara powers all the bodies. Sarvatma Bhavana. This is the right way of understanding. This universal vision of God removes our narrow-mindedness and it removes the boundaries we have erected around ourselves. This is me. This is my family. Those people do not belong to me. These people belong to me. This is my community. That is not my community. all these boundaries will collapse. Every being on in this universe is my own self. They are my bandhus, Vishwa Bandhu. Every being, no matter not just human beings, all animals, birds, fish, amoeba, bacteria, everything moves by consciousness. And it is one consciousness. It is my consciousness. It is their consciousness, one consciousness. That consciousness is God. This Sarvatma Bhavana, this universal vision, all the boundaries drop. This is not, don't look for a mystical experience. It is an understanding, an intellectual understanding, a deep intellectual understanding, which will, the deeper understanding, it will become an intuitive understanding. With open eyes, you see this body different from another body. But with the eye of the intellect, eye of wisdom, you see the spirit behind this body, the consciousness behind this body, the chetana behind this body. And the chetana inside all the bodies is one and the same. It's Hari, Sri Hari, Shiva, whatever you call it. This consciousness, I am, you are, everyone are. So one has to expand their understanding to this visionary truth. Sri Rama asks Vashishta, O Mahatma, O Brahmajna, please tell me the real Swarupa of Paramatma again. By your teaching, we will understand, we will know Paramatma, and we will come out of our delusion. Then Sri Vashishta Maharshi is saying, Vashishta Maharshi is giving some statements, examples. Know that as the Paramatma, as that knowing principle which is going from one place to another place within no time. The knowing principle is Paramatma. Know that as Paramatma, which is an ocean of consciousness in which what you call as time, past, present, and future, the time becomes timeless in that ocean of consciousness. We are in the domain, the normal life is within the domain of time. But in the ocean of consciousness, there is no time, it is timeless. Know that as Paramatma, in which the entire world appears in its awareness. Know that as Paramatma, in which this world, which is made up of seer, seen, and process of seeing. In the world, there is a seer, there is a seen object, and the process of seeing. This entire thing appears in consciousness. That consciousness is Paramatma. Know that as Paramatma, in which this world, which is a temporary, impermanent, ephemeral, and asat thing, Jagat, appears as Sat, as real. The unreal world appears as real in the Paramatma. This creation, which is beginningless, is appearing in the consciousness. Know that as Paramatma, which is Bahya Abhyantara. Means, Bahya means the body with all its organs of action, the gross body, and the subtle body, which is the mind. The gross body, physical body, and the subtle body, which is the mind. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. This, know that as Paramatma, which is the power behind this body and mind. Whatever the body and mind does, it does with the power, energy, Shakti from the Atma. What runs this body and mind, the power that runs this body and mind is consciousness, Atma. That is Paramatma. O son, this is the Swarupa of Paramatma. Whatever you see in this world, whatever you see in this world is dependent on the Paramatma, which is consciousness. It has come out of that consciousness, it is appearing in that consciousness, and is dependent on its existence on consciousness. Whatever you see, whatever you know, all that, what is it dependent on ultimately? That is Paramatma. Sri Rama is asking the question, O Maharshi, how does one get experience that Paramatma alone is the truth, Satpadartha, and this Drusya Jagat, the seen world, is Mithya, illusory? How does one get that experience? Then sage Vashishta is saying, O Rama, O son, Look at the sky. Sky, it looks blue in color. Is there an object, a blue object in the sky? It appears blue. But is there blue object in the sky? A real blue object? No. The sky is empty, formless. But you are looking a blue thing in the sky. Similarly, Paramatma, Brahman, is also in Paramatma. This Drushya Jagat is appearing like that. In reality, Drushya Jagat doesn't exist. Jagat is mithya. This world is illusion, delusion. This teaching is the only way it will give you an intuitive understanding about Brahman. There is no other way. If you think the world is real, you cannot grasp Brahman. But if you are convinced that the world is illusion, is mithya, it appearing but it is not so. Jagat is mithya, then Brahman becomes Satya. Consciousness is Satya. See, Brahman is another word. We start looking for another entity called Brahman. That's not how you should understand it. Brahman, God, Paramatma. It is you, the consciousness. The consciousness in you, Atma, is Paramatma, is Brahman. Atma is Paramatma. Consciousness is Brahman. And consciousness is the truth. The unchanging consciousness in you is the truth. The changing body, mind, intellect, world is an appearance. It is like a movie, moving pictures on the screen of consciousness. Consciousness alone is real. World is an appearance in consciousness. Knowing this intellectually, understanding this is the only way. At the time of great deluge, pralaya, all that is seen will get destroyed. At that time, what remains is Parama Purusha. What remains is Bodha Swarupa, awareness, consciousness. What it means is when you understand deeply that myself, my body, other's body, that person's body, this person's body, everything, this object, that object, everything, entire Jagat is Drushya, is a known object. The knower, the consciousness, the awareness. What remains is awareness. That awareness, consciousness is Paramatma, that is Atma, that is you. There is an important thing to understand. In deep sleep, there is a Jada sthiti, Sushupti, in deep sleep. The mind goes into dormant state. Of course, consciousness will be there, but you are not aware. But you are not aware. If there is a mirror, there will be a reflection. In the waking state, there is the mirror of the mind. In the deep sleep state, the mirror of the mind goes into dormant state. So, the reflection of Brahman is not there in the mind, it's not reflected in the mind in deep sleep state. So, Sri Rama is asking, you told when everything is Laya, what remains is Paramapurusha. Then what is that? What are you talking about? Vashishta says, this world which appears is an appearance. It is illusion. It is not real. This knowledge is what I am pointing at. Don't think that Sarvamu Laya means when everything goes into unmanifest form, the Jadasthiti kind of thing, unmanifest, where you don't know what you are. That is not what I am pointing out. I am pointing out while awake, with eyes wide open, you take a step back. Don't consider the world as a reality, as truth. Consider the world as a dream. as a lucid dream. You are in a dream. World is asat. Then you can see the reflection of Brahman in the mirror of the mind as I am. You can experience it. Of course, deep sleep, you are very relaxed. You can enjoy the bliss of the self, but you are not there. If you want to enjoy the bliss of the self in waking state, then consider that the Jagat is Asat. Don't be a samsari. Merge your mind in I amness. Therefore, getting rid of Drushya Prapancha does not mean going into a Jada Samadhi. At the time of deep sleep, right from Ant to Chaturmukha Brahma, everyone go into a state, Sushupti, where there are no seen world. There is a Jada state, Jadatvam. That is not moksha. Deep sleep is not moksha. If you close your eyes and say, I will not look at the Drushya Prapancha, I will close my eyes, that is not what is right. With open eyes, knowing that this world has no effect on my consciousness. Consciousness, my awareness, my I amness is untouched by whatever happens in the world. The unchanging I amness, the consciousness, is blemishless. In wide open eyes in the waking world, while interacting with the world, the peace of the self is felt because we know that world is an illusion and it has no effect on me, the consciousness. This is the Uttama Samskara. I am untouched by the world. This knowledge has to arise. Atma is untouched. This knowledge has to arise. This drushti, this perception, this viewpoint is moksha. Therefore, O Rama, this drushya prapancha doesn't exist. Brahman alone exists. Consciousness alone is truth. The world is an appearance. Therefore, leave off your attachments on the world and be Atma Rama. Enjoy your own true self. Self is changeless. Atma is akarta, abhokta. I am not the body, I am not the mind. World has no effect on me because I have no desires. This drushti, this viewpoint is moksha. Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanastu.